Hey everyone, Mystic Magic here, and we're going to be doing something kind of cool and different. So, this is potentially a new series that I'm going to be doing. So, for those of you who know me or who looked at my channel, you know that I am a really big Neopets fan, and they finally released probably the biggest thing that we've been waiting for the longest time in the Neopets community. They finally decided to release a plot. Right, and so for those of you who don't know what plots are, they are like major events that happen in Neopets, and it has a lot of really cool things. Usually, there's a lot of puzzles. There's a comic. There's a lot of stuff, and a lot of the lore comes from these plots. Okay, so obviously they just announced it. I mean, they didn't just announce it. They announced it a while back, and they finally are releasing it. And it's called The Void Within. And so I just wanted to do this video kind of going over it, also some of my theories and all that, and also just, ooh, I'm so hyped about this. We haven't had a good, I swear, like I want to argue we haven't had a good plot since Tale of Woe. I know there was Fairy's Ruin, which was after that, which isn't too bad, but I honestly like Tale of Woe more. But this is super cool. Okay, Void Within. There is something with Void Within that I kind of missed, unfortunately, so I'm not going to be able to show it off here. Hopefully, it's going to be back. I'm going to try to find footage of it, but basically, this is going to be the plot. Okay, so let's kind of jump on it. I actually already did it. I already read through it once already, so it's not showing me. It would show like a little red icon for you if you're first starting out with it. But right now it's just that. Okay, so it's missing. Okay, but here it is. Here's the main page for Void Within. Okay, the logo is amazing. Look at that. And also, like, clearly this is a um, kind of haunt, like some sort of really possessed or creepy, demonic looking paintbrush, which is super cool. And at first I was thinking that the gray stuff that's been going on. So if you've been following Neopets on their social media and all that, I thought that the all of this. Actually, I can favorite it. I'm gonna favorite this page so I can easily go back to it. Anyways, sorry. If you've been following Neopets for a while recently, you'll know that since around let me think. Yes, it would have been around Advent calendar. Last year's Advent calendar, there were like some really cool teases for Void Within, and then as we kept getting closer to where we are now, they started doing so. Some of the pets started being turned gray. There were NPCs turning gray. There was like all this stuff. And originally, I had thought that the turning gray stuff was going to only be the seasonal events. So it would be Festival of Negs, Altador Cup, Advent Calendar. You know, like only those, because they've never connected them to a plot per se. But actually, they have kind of before, but it was always indirect. It was never direct. But this is no. This is actually like a direct tie in with the Void Within. Like this actually is the two connected. Literally with the gray pink brush and the logo. The logo literally unites the two almost. So yes, it is actually the two united um, plots. So, all right. So basically, let's go over to see what we have. So here's the main page, which by the way, awesome. It's like this is really really nice. Like I think this is some of the nicest graphics that they've UI graphics that they've had for a plot. This is like so far some one of the best, probably the best actually. This is super clean, really easy to use. I'm using the Meridol background by the way, and it'll make sense why I'm choosing the Meridol one. Um, Also because my PNG tuber is kind of dark colored, so I think it kind of helps to have it like that. Um, let's see, yeah, but I tried to choose a lighter one, but Meridol makes sense. So here we are in this main page here. And originally, I guess there was a thing where you could click on it, but I don't really know like what happened to it. Apparently, it got taken down at like this afternoon or something. I'd have to find clips of it. It might be somewhere online. My time zone is different, so I missed it. Um, but yeah, there's like unless like I'm clicking around, I don't know if I can. Can I like view page something? I don't know. I'm not sure. There used to be like a way to like highlight the whole thing and then you would find stuff, but let's see actually. Is there anything? There's like a way to do it. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like clicking around and you can see the void tear right there, which, um, It is actually a reference to the prologue of it. Here, I'm just clicking around. But analyzing this just overall, it's Altador. Like this is Altador. Obviously, with the architecture and all that, you can see the tear. But the cool thing is, and this is very interesting, this map isn't just Neopia's map. This is actually the Altador Cup map. If you look very carefully, you can see all the Altador Cup icons. That's what they use during Altador Cup. Which Altador Cup is the next major holiday or seasonal event that's coming up. So yeah. So if you follow Altador Cup, yeah. I'm Team Haunted Woods, by the way. Okay, so here we have the plot timeline, which is this is super nice. Like they've never done this before. They've never had an event that went that far. You know, like look how far it goes back. It's literally like they're teasing it way back since Fairy Festival, which is insane. You know, and then here's chapter one. But let's check out the timeline real quick. So Fairy Festival, this was back in 2023. So if they were like planning it way back in October last year, that's crazy. I feel like I've never done that before. So, okay, Puppeteer orchestrates a plot involving Malchus Vile, and excuse my pronunciation. I'm gonna try my best, but we don't know the official pronunciations of a lot of these characters except for like anything that was in the video games, or rather in the Darkest Fairy. So that's about it. Okay, yes, an unseen puppeteer orchestrates a plot involving Malchus Vile to weaken the fairies. A shadowy figure watches the events unfold from afar with Vera and implies this is only the beginning. Okay, so these two are actually major characters from previous. Oops, let me go back. Previous plots and events. Okay, so Halloween. Okay, so in Halloween, an unaccounted villainous tale somehow makes its way into the story collection of stories that Reginald assembled. Okay, so this was another plot point. And if you want to check these out, they are. I feel like they should link them. Like that would make sense. Like instead of just giving us plot points like this, the only way really you can see some of these is probably through Jelly Neo. They probably have links for these. Okay, so Advent Calendar 1. So these are like they have several Advent Calendar animations that were tied to this. Okay, after stumbling upon a lyre in the snow, Orion, plagued by sleepless nights and strange visions, pleads with Reyna to cancel the festivities and raise the alarm. Okay, so another two group NPCs here. They're connected to the Advent Calendar. Orion's in a previous plot too. I don't remember which one. Okay. Discovering he can share his visions by playing the lyre, Orion shows the crowd images of an Aisha and Phaley lost across time and space in a strange place. The two struggle to survive as this realm overwhelms and corrupts them, with the Phaley making the ultimate sacrifice by cobbling together the little materials he could scavenge into a device capable of regulating the mysterious energy coursing through them. Okay, so again, another Advent Calendar animation. Okay. As the Aisha realizes her Phaley friend could only make one device and choose to save her instead of himself, she breaks down. Her emotions merge with the otherworldly essence flowing through her, and she accidentally tears open a hole back to Neopia. But where and when will she emerge? So this part here kind of seems to imply that there's like multiverse going on here, which is kind of insane. And this is actually a reference to this tear here that we're seeing at the top. Okay. Great Curse Precursor. Okay, so shopkeepers and notable figures such as Elia, and the bank manager Skeeth, he doesn't have a name, poor guy, are slowly grayed out. Around Neopia, rumors swirl of a great curse as word spreads that those who have been painted this mysterious gray color cannot change colors no matter what they try. Yeah, so that's what we've been seeing lately. Festival of Neg. So after Kari, the Neg fairy falls victim to the great curse, Orion steps up to help out with the Festival of Negs. However, among the throng of people, Orion starts having visions once more. This time they seem to be pulling him to a certain location with the help of festival goers. Ugh. He was able to uncover an undiscovered pet along with a mysterious lava musical cylinder in the depths of Moltara. Okay, so let's kind of put a pin on Moltara as well. A riot of color. So this is the first chapter. A feeling of disquiet settles over Neopia as strange occurrences culminate into an assault on the entire land during the dead of night. Meanwhile, new heroes receive a call for adventure. Okay, so this is where we are at here. Okay, so let's go into the plot. So if you click any of these, I'll just take you to the plot. Okay, so here we are with the plot here. And this is back to the old style comics where you would hover over it and then the text would appear. It's like gorgeous. Is this clickable at all? It's activating the icon, but okay, so this is obviously Meridel. So somebody's here with the paintbrush, right? And then we can see all the denizens are turning gray. Nothing we're clicking here. Okay, that's super cool. Okay, so one of the reasons why this page is the reason why I wanted to do this video. First of all, the art is fantastic. Like, look at that. It's so nice. This is clearly not the same artists as like previous comics. I feel like they've all been different artists, you know, different art teams. This team really did a nice job. There's a very nice cartooniness, very expressive. But the cool thing is, are actually the 3 NPCs that we have. So this is Jaren. Like this is Jaren. Now we might be kind of if those of you who aren't super familiar are probably thinking, wait, but isn't this Jaren? Question mark. But no, this is Tor. This is actually Tormund, and we can tell the difference between the two because Jaren's wearing his armor and this is his sword. This is canonically his sword in the comic. Funny enough, the sword actually does appear in Darkest Fairy, and Tor seems to use it. Like it is pretty much the same sword. The hilt is different, but I think it's the same sword. I don't know. But this is Jaren. That's his armor. This is Tor. This is his. And the cool thing is he's wearing the Altador armor that he got at the end of Darkest Fairy. And he's also using the shield he gets at the end, but also the sword. This is not King Altador's sword, which is the sword that he gets at the end of the game. Technically, well, like he gets it, but he doesn't keep that sword because it's Altador's sword. So he actually gets a different sword, that's such a cool detail. So this is actually him, and he's actually writing a letter to Roberta, who's another character from the Darkest Fairy. It's like she's his partner in that game, so that's super cool. And then we have Leisha up here, which is Jaren's sister, and she's like, knowing her, she's gonna hit the library. And if you're wondering why her clothes are like this, yeah, this is part of her plot too. Why her clothes are not like medieval-esque like the other two are. Okay, but it's cool. But it confirms that canonically, Tor goes back to Meridel at the end of Darkest Fairy. So canonically, these things are connected. This page alone connects all of the Meridel plots, and basically, so all the Meridel plots, all of the Darkest Fairy events, and technically everything from Fairy's Ruin all together into one. Like this actually confirms that they're all canonically together, but also chronological with each other, if that makes any sense. Okay. And if we're looking through the pages here, we actually there's 21 pages, which that's a lot. It's kind of weird that there's only 21 exactly, unless they're trying to do, I'm not sure whether like it's only 21. But if we look, let's go back to the main. So that's kind of interesting that there's only 21 pages. I don't know. But yeah, that seems like a lot for one plot. Okay, but anyways, so yeah, that's what we have so far. Okay, and in Void Within, we have the Neo boards. There's just Neo board stuff. Okay, battle coming soon. So most plots will have a battle dome thing going on. And this plot's no different. Okay, rewards. Now this is where it gets kind of cool. So the reward section. So we have a bunch of different rewards that we can get, and I guess when the plot starts like picking up, we're gonna be able to do more of this. Figure out what these gather 50 void essences, whatever that means. Prizes, all that stuff. So these are all achievements here. Okay. But notice that there's Act 2 and Act 3. So I guess there's more to this, you know. And if you look at time is of the essence. I actually got 1 out of 3, and that's just from reading the comic. So I didn't really do anything else other than that, which I guess gives you like the first point or something. Yeah, because I got like 1 point. You can actually see all the trophies here, which is super cool. That's super nice to be able to see that. Really nice layout. And then we actually have prizes for the prize shop here. Okay, now the prize shops is cool because the prize shop, usually anything that's in the prize shop is going to reflect on everything else. Yeah, so what I mean is by that is if the character NPC appears in these in the prize shop, they probably will appear very likely or like be somewhat involved with the plot in some way. So we can kind of use this as kind of a way to think about what would what characters and what areas would actually appear in the plot too. So we have Jordana, the Jordana Uzuki here. So Jordana obviously connected to Altador, so that's easy. I'm not surprised that she's going to be involved here. Dr. Landerbot. Now this is interesting. So the what's it? The coincidence. So he's the NPC with the coincidence, and it's like that's an event. That's like a daily. So I wonder like what he's up to. Tavi. So Tavi, I had to look it up. So Tavi is actually, and if I jump over to Book of Ages, I went ahead and looked it up real quick. Um, it's actually in the story involving Baelia, the Grey Fairy. So, was actually the one who freed Baelia, in that story. So, I guess Bailey is gonna be in like Tavi's gonna be involved somehow. I don't know. Okay. Somewhere in the universe background. So yeah, again, more talk about the multiverse universe, that kind of thing. So like beyond space almost. Okay, Vira. We've seen her. She's involved. We know that because she's actually already appeared. Not in the current comic, but like that. A needle. I think this a new pet. I wonder. I'm gonna look that up super quick here. Okay, so I just went ahead and paused it. I just paused it so that I could search it up. Yeah, so this is actually new to this event. This pet. Is there a description for it? Are the other ones maybe? Oops. Fuzztick and Wormo. I don't know. Maybe are these new Triclops star? I'm not super familiar with all the pets. These might be new, and I don't recognize these. Okay. So continuing on. Look at the TCG card. So Great Fairy, yeah. Okay, I'm not surprised Bailey is going to be involved. Obviously, it's great. Giant Space Fungus, okay. Which is from the game, I guess? I don't know. A bunch of gray items, which is cool. Look at the 2 gray morphing potions. Yes. Space Croc. Okay, I wonder if it's like, this is an NPC. Now, looking at locations, so obviously Meridol's mentioned, but Shenku is mentioned here. And that's interesting. We'll put a pin on that. Gray Phaley. So yeah, there was a Phaley if you remember earlier. There's other pets too. Gray Fairies again. Nival. So she's an NPC from the Lost Desert plot. So I don't know if she's maybe involved, which is interesting because that brings it now to Lost Desert and Casela as well. So the two halves of it. Okay. My Life is Queen. So this is actually I'm mentioning this because of the NPC here. Amira. She's Lost Desert, so I guess she's involved too. Okay, King Scarl Kozuki, yeah, Scarl's involved. We know that. The Space Ace, like so, Space Ace Zarafa is he involved? Zafara rather Zafara. That's Zarafa. Zafara. Okay, King Hagen the Y. So going towards Bright Veil, which makes sense, and I'll mention why Bright Veil and all that makes sense later. Darkest Fairy. So this is probably the biggest NPC that we have. Like, is the Darkest Fairy involved? We want to know because of the the plot, kind of the cliffhanger that we got at the end of Fairy Ruin. So is she going to be involved? Which would be super interesting. Okay, yeah. So Myra, she has a plushie actually, so she's actually showing up. Lord Darrigan. Ooh, so for over in Darrigan Citadel as well. So maybe he's involved. King Jason. Jason? I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but yeah, so he's involved too. So another, again, Lost Desert plot, Casela. Okay, Great King Altador. So Altador is mentioned here. Okay, obviously that makes sense. Okay, Theorist here. So these are all like some of the rare, what is it? Battle Dome item, Space Fairy token. Really cool. King Kelpbeard. So first mention Ameriqua here with him. And then so on and so forth. Grapes of Wrath. That's cool. So basically we have all of this. So far these are kind of all the lands that are being mentioned. It seems like pretty much all of the lands are being mentioned except for, and I'll go ahead and inventory those in a second. Let's check out NC Mall real quick here because a bunch of stuff here. NC Mall, so they have a bunch of items right here that are part of the event. That's about it. Okay, so that's what we have so far from the page. Now let's go over to, I'm going to jump over to Jelly because Jelly Neo has pretty much all of the images that I was looking for. So this is kind of the tease here. Okay. That's from the Advent. We saw the tease for Brightvale, but if we so this was the two NPCs from the that beginning part with the what is it, Advent calendar. Okay, a bunch of AMA, so gray shopkeepers, void within. Okay, but the one I wanted to mention here. So looking at all the lands that are being mentioned, because it looks like there's multiple lands being involved, obviously. I'm trying to find it. Yes, here. So the first poster we got was Meridel. This was on their Instagram. Okay, so Meridel is here. And actually, let me go ahead and pull up their Instagram. Let's see if maybe that's easier. Okay, so here's their Instagram. So we can see everything that's going on. So here's their announcement for Void Within. It's plot time. I'm just kind of skimming it over. Okay, and then they're having a giveaway. Huh, okay, so they mentioned Kiko Lake here. Okay, so we have, and here's the Feli, and here's the Aisha right there. Okay, so, oh, and here's actually their artwork. Here, so we can actually see their artwork. That's their full art, I guess. Okay, but let's go to, scroll down a lot. Let's go down to Meridel. Okay, so the first land that we got with this, with the weird kind of sketches, is Meridel. So there's like some sort of malicious intent going on here. But yeah, here's Meridel. And it has like a little bit, and Meridel's the first to be turned gray. So, and after that, some of the NPCs started turning gray. Okay, now we have Brightvale is next. So I'm wondering if this is telling us that Brightvale is the next land that we're going to see in the comic that turns gray. And looking at like some of the things going on, I wonder like, so the castle is cracking, skulls and everything. Dull Veil, I guess. They're trying to say that by scratching it off. Okay. Neopets Central. So this is interesting. The connection. Neopets Central rarely gets involved in the plots. Like maybe it's Defenders in Neopia right here. And you can actually see, I think this is Brightvale in the back. It has to be Bright. I think it is. Is it Meridel? It's either Brightvale or Meridel. It's Brightvale. This is Brightvale. Yeah, I was right. I don't know why I doubted I second guessed myself. Okay, you see even the money tree, the poor money tree is being like possessed, you know, and everything's all corrupted and stuff. That's super cool. So, where new beginnings are made, where bleak beginnings are made. So, and notice that this part here is grayed out too. Like you can see the gray coming in. Super interesting. Okay, Haunted Woods. Okay, so Haunted Woods is maybe after that. Don't explore Haunted Woods. There's like a little bit of gray tone. I can see like creeping into here, and you can see all the. It's funny because they add all these creepy things. There's a theory that this might be Vira, which makes sense because she is connected to Haunted Woods. I wonder what this is though. Like this kind of figure here. Not sure. Okay. I guess if you guys have any ideas, just let me know. Terra Mountain is next, and I like how it's folded up. That's super cool. Like it's a folded up thing. Now, I wonder who this is. There's like balloons. There's been like balloons with faces. There's a hand here. Creepy eyes. There's like a weird claw here. A cracked lantern. I wonder if this has anything to do with it because it's drawn. Interesting. I kind of. Oh, somebody said there might be a Gerbil with a balloon. I don't know. There's like a bunch of different comments. Okay, so that might be next. And here's more grayed out stuff. Just go past, keep going. Altador. Now Altador is here. Yeah, okay, so it is a Yerbil. We actually have a good picture of him now. And he doesn't look too good. Doesn't look too happy, but it's got his balloon here too. Here's a Gellert here, like a Wraith Gellert, I wonder. Which, Wraith Resurgence? There was a Wraith Gellert involved with that story too. I don't remember his name, but he had an important role in it. And Altador is like on fire, you know. There's another figure up here. There's more figures right here. Like wraithy kind of shadow. So it's like wraith and gray going on. There's some gray going on here. And the edges. Yeah. Also, this is not part of it, but it's interesting they did a page on a quote-unquote fugitive file. Although this was a contest, so but I do wonder. It's kind of interesting. They did a whole page for cast. Okay. Anyways, and then where's the last one? Yeah, so more gray. This time it's an Altador. And this is the latest one. This one just came out this morning, which is Fairyland. And notice it says blot out Fairyland, and it says where loneliness instead of kindness, loneliness prevails. This is the most interesting one because if you look at it, so Fairyland, for those of you who don't know, Fairyland actually was landed. It crash landed due to the events of Fairy's Ruin. But notice in the background, it's like clouds again. So this is the old look, back when it was not on the ground. It's like on the ground, it's like this, where it's like that darker purple. Now it's that lighter purple. It's up in the clouds. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with that too. That maybe it's going to be, back up. But if you look very carefully at the background, it's graying out. So there's two different pictures overlaid on top of each other. And notice that the background is being gray, and as well as this here, there's gray, 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 gray. Then you have these wraiths going on here, and there's a waterfall here coming out, and then there's this figure here. So yeah, I'm wondering like what this means here, like that this is going on. That's really interesting. The one thing that makes me think of with fountains is Darkest Fairy as well. So I don't know. It might be something very, very interesting. Okay, so that's kind of what's been going on. Let's go back to the plot coverage of Void Within. So let's see. Oh yeah, and there was also a diary, Balia, who wrote that. Okay. So she's also been, remember that she lost her power. So I wonder if this has something to do with her. If you look at their page on Jelly, they do have a lot of, they've been covering all the NPCs that have been turning gray. Even the omelets turned gray. A couple interesting things. So even the money trees turned gray. This is just a good place to have everything all together. Trudy's surprise is turning gray too. Okay, and then the Neopian Hospital has been updated with a new layout and a new NPC. Well, she's always been there. It's just that now she's like front and center. Yeah, so here's the pharmacy. It's a new layout. Really interesting. Okay. And then Meridol's gray. So these are the two pages that have turned gray. And poor Scarl's turned gray. So everybody's just gray. Okay. And here's some of the, that's the dye work stuff. Let's see more. So the cool thing is this part here. So I'm going to just go over the FAQ real quick. So for those of you who want to get involved with the plot, which I do recommend, the plots are usually really well written, really, really fun. Okay. They add some really cool FAQs, which I think are very, very promising. So how often will new content be released? Okay, so it looks like it's weekly. Okay, I'm just going to sum them up real quick. If you want to read it, you can go to the FAQ, which is here. Let's see. I'm actually going to use this one because it's all together. It's a bit faster. And it's a little less torn on the eyes. So new content weekly. Do I have to participate in Battle Dome? And they said no, they actually are making it optional, which is awesome, So let's see. Yeah, we don't have to do Battle Dome, which I suck at Battle Dome so much. Like I don't do Battle Dome. So this is a really nice option, especially since before, if you didn't do Battle Dome, you would only get like a fraction of the good stuff. So that's really nice. Okay. Can I catch up on chapters I missed after the 3-week period during which they were playable? Yes, even if you miss them, you can always jump back and catch up with the rest of Neopia, which is so nice. That's so good. It used to be like once you missed it, you missed it. That's it. Can't go back. So this is really cool. What if I skip through dialogue or am I confused of where to go next? If you follow dialogue, you can always access the Handy Dandy Stories tab on the Plot Hub page to review previous scenes and chapters, which is quite nice. You can also use the fan sites like Jelly and Sunny and all that to get in case you miss stuff. Let's see. Doesn't it apply to, yeah, that's what I thought. So today it wasn't anything. Okay. How long does the plot last? Following the graying out prelude, the plot officially began on June 17th, so that's today. Meridol was grayed out overnight. Some series are predicted it will end around a year later 2025, but no one's really for certain. Um, so one of the members of Neopets team suggested that it will run for at least around 10 months, which is huge. We've never had a plot that goes on for that long. That's incredible. That is like insane. I hope they have enough content for that, because that is like they've never done a plot that's been that long. That's insane. Okay. How do I earn plot prizes? So here's so obviously you redeem them. Okay, super super cool. Hidden trophies or fearless deeds that can be acquired through acts of valor, going above and beyond that of ordinary Neopet. So I wonder what that means. Like, I guess there's gonna be hidden stuff. They've always had hidden stuff before, and it looks like they're using a lot more areas. So will there be any trigger warnings? If you want to read that, here's a whole page about all the potential triggers here, which I do appreciate that. That's really cool to include more people who maybe who aren't quite sure. And yeah, the plots get really dark. Like, some people think, oh, it's Neopets, it's gonna be kid friendly, whatever. Yeah, it's kid friendly. There's no blood or anything per se, but they're not necessarily like squeaky clean. Like, nobody gets hurt. No, people die. Like, characters die in these plots. So it's not like, oh yeah, that'll be fine. No, like, we've had, oh man, like, especially if you looked at Tale of Woe story, you get like, it's pretty crazy. Okay, so from what it sounds like, there was supposed to be a thing here, but we didn't. I'm not able to activate it again. Like, according to Jelly Neo, it says that it was right here. Update around 12 p.m. NST. Dialogue seems to have been disabled, which I wonder if it's because it was activated too early. Maybe it was supposed to be a gathering of world leaders to discuss the mysterious tears in space, and I'm wondering if that means the same kind of group of rulers that we've gotten in some of the previous plots that have the rulers involved in some way. So I'm expecting, if we pull up the map, let me go ahead and find the map here. I'm expecting, so for sure, Meridor, Brightvale, Fairyland, Maraqua, Lost Desert. So those worlds, like, for sure have always been involved. And Altador. So that's what I'm assuming. At the very least, those worlds. And those worlds have all been mentioned. So far we've had mention of Meridor, Brightvale, Neopets Central. Super interesting that they chose Neopets Central. Haunted Woods, Fairyland, Lost Desert. Okay, in the prize shop specifically. We haven't seen them like mentioned in the plot per se, but like in the prize shop. Terror Mountain. Rotating over. Altador. Shenku only mentioned in the prize shop. So I wonder if Shenku's gonna be involved. I'd be very surprised if Shenku wasn't. It is one of the major like kingdom type, worlds. So that'd be kind of weird that if they weren't mentioned. Maraqua, again, only in the plot, the store. So far, those seem to be the worlds that are involved. The worlds that are not involved so far are Kiko Lake, Rue Island, Tyrania, Mystery Island, Croc Island, Virtue Pet Station, Kraludor, Lutari Island, which I highly doubt. Dakardia, sure, I'll just mention it, but I highly doubt it too. Moltara wasn't mentioned as well. So, however, I will mention that all of these lands, minus Lutari, obviously, because it's, so I don't know why it's there, Dakardia, blah, blah. All of those are the only two, the two weird ones. They're the only ones that don't have an Altador Cup team. And so far we have Altador Cup mentioned, like, or hinted at in the things. Like, if we go back to the main page of Void Within, this is the Altador Cup map, and it has. I'm looking very carefully. If you look right here, Virtue Pet Station, Kraludor's here, Boltara's here. If you squint hard enough, you'll see that all of them are there. So it seems like it is Altador Cup that's going to be involved here. Okay, so we will see what happens. Yeah, we will need to see what happens. Anyways, so as you can tell, I'm very excited. I'm going to try to do a video every day. I don't know if I can, depending on how busy I am. Um, I am usually pretty busy this time of year. So we'll have to see. But this is really, really exciting. Like, I am so hyped for this plot. Um, it's just, I haven't seen a plot from Neopets in so long, and I'm a really big Neopets fan. I love the lore. The lore is like my number one favorite thing. And to see like all of these characters show up being involved. Some of these characters have never had like their plot points ever resolved or anything. So it's super cool. It's like it feels like a love letter to the fans considering how many references that we're seeing just with this first comic strip alone. Being a huge fan of The Darkest Fairy and seeing Tor and Jaren together is super cool. Like that's just like wow. Like crossover of the century energies of levels of excitement here. Anyway, so hopefully this will be a series or some kind. We'll see how long I can go on for and how many things I can do with this. Um, it's possible that tomorrow there might not be anything, but we'll see. Hopefully there's something. So, but yeah, I'm going to do my best to go ahead and post. I might even stream it if I feel so inclined. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed some of my theory crafting. I right now my theory is that it might involve Darkest Fairy. I'm hoping it's going to involve her. It's obviously going to be involving the Grey Fairy, and I'm wondering if it will now finally reveal the Grey Fairy's abilities because she did lose her powers due to having her wings removed. So maybe we can have more details on that. Clearly, the kingdoms are going to be involved, like the ones that I mentioned earlier. I'm almost 100% sure that they are involved just because they are in the price shop. They were mentioned in Instagram on the posters. So I'm wondering as we keep going, we're gonna get posters for Lost Desert and Marikwa and all of the others. So we might get those. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, so it seems like there's some weird multiversal thing going on, and I'm wondering. My theory is that they're connecting all of the plots. Like they're trying to connect all the plots somehow. And I think the coolest way and probably the best way they could do it is to connect Darkest Fairy with Void Within, with everything that's going on. And it makes sense. With the wraithiness that we're seeing with the posters, it seems like they are going to do the wraith stuff from Void Within, along with all the gray stuff that's been going on. And this mention of just lots of stuff with fairies seems to kind of feel very Darkest Fairy-esque, especially with the large emphasis on Altador. Like we already see Altador here, so that's what I'm thinking. Which is this is gonna be like that's one heck of a plot if they're gonna try to tie everything together. Lately, a lot of the plots have been feeling that way. They have been feeling somewhat connected. Like Void Within was directly connected with, was it I'm blanking out. Fairy's Ruin. Like those two were actually directly connected, which was wild. Like we didn't expect that at all. And then, which is unlike the other plots, which have always been separate. So, anyways, before I keep rambling on, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.